Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be back to a little bit of detailing content, and what we've got is a bit of a versus. We're going to be looking at this filthy BMW X1 taking on the Garage Therapy lineup, and as you can see, the wheels are manky, the wheel arches are manky, the bodywork in general has got 7 to 8 weeks worth of traffic film built up on it, and it's just overall pretty grubby. So this was a quick introduction to the manky BMW X1, and let's take a look at what he's going to be up against. And it's going to be the Garage Therapy lineup, which we'll go into in a little bit more detail in just 1 second. So here's how the Garage Therapy team's going to line up. In goals, we've got zero decon. We've got a back three of 1 wheel shampoo, iron oxide and 1 snow foam. In the middle, we've got tyre serum and 1 glass, and up front, looking to apply the finishes, is 2 Sigma. And we've got 1 car shampoo version 2 on the bench in case it needs to be substituted in. So we're going to be kicking this wash off, as always, with the wheels. And after giving them a quick pre-rinse, we've got Garage Therapy Zero Decon diluted at 10 to 1 in the trigger spray bottle for the tyres. Now, I've not shown you the full thing, this is the third pass that we're on, and as you can see, the foam's coming up white, which means the tyres are nice and clean. Then it's going to be all about getting the Zero Decon into those arches and just letting it dwell for a little bit while we crack on with the wheels. And for the wheels, of course, it's going to be 1 wheel shampoo in the IK foamer. And we're going to do it 2 ways, we're going to do the wheels 2 ways here. The first method of attack is going to be applying the 1 wheel shampoo, letting it dwell for around 5 minutes, and just seeing how much grime it removes without any agitation. I've never really tried this before, and I thought I would just see how it does as a standalone wheel cleaner, bearing in mind that these wheels are extremely dirty, so we'll give it around 5 minutes to dwell and see how it gets on. So just going in, giving it a rinse off, getting all the grime out of the arches, and then we'll move on to rinsing the wheels off and having a look at how the 1 wheel shampoo did without any agitation whatsoever. And the wheels were not too bad considering how dirty they were to start off with, but they definitely needed a hit, and a second hit and an agitation. As you can see just how much dirt is coming out of the barrels here. If you're interested in that wheelbarrow brush, that is the SGCB wheelbarrow brush, and also that trigger spray that I was using earlier with the decon in it at 10 to 1 is also an SGCB trigger bottle, which are extremely good bottles. I'll leave a link below for them. So going forward, doing the other 3 wheels is just going to be a case of using it and agitating at the same time. Once we get the wheels done and dusted, it's just a case of giving the car a thorough pre-rinse, just to get as much of that loose contaminant off as possible before we even think about doing any snow foaming or pre-washing. And in this instance, this is my first use of the Garage Therapy snow foam, and what I wanted to do was just see how it tackled the dirt that was already on the car. So I gave it 5 minutes dwell time before rinsing off. Now, what I would say is that I'm managing my expectations here. This is not a maintenance wash. This car is very dirty. It's far from a maintenance wash. So I don't expect the snow foam to be outstanding and act as a contactless wash. I just want to see how it does against something that's pretty grimy, that's not quite maintenance wash. Now, again, this is my first use of this product. I'm not doing any testing at this stage, I'm genuinely just giving this car a clean up so that the wife doesn't moan at me. And all I'm going to say at this point in time was that there was a fair amount of dirt removed, but I would still have needed a pre-wash, which is what we're going to move on to in the next phase. So for pre-washing, I'm using that same bottle of Garage Therapy Zero Decon at 10 to 1 to just go over the full car and give it a full coating of the Zero Decon, and then following that up with a blanket of snow foam over the Zero Decon to get as much cleaning power as possible. As you can see here, I'm using the KDN snow foam lance. What I've noticed with the Garage Therapy snow foam is that from watching a few different videos, a few different reviews, that a thinner consistency of foam seems to get better results, and the KDN snow foam lance doesn't produce quite as thick a foam as what the MJJC does, so I've went with that instead. Now the aim of the game for today is to be applying Sigma to completely bare paint, so I'm using Zero Decon again in the wash bucket as a shampoo with the Garage Therapy wash pad in order to strip any protection that's left on the car off of it. Following on from that, it will be a final rinse down and a drying towel. I did plan on using the iron oxide, but in this occasion I've got other plans for the car, so I didn't bother with that right at this particular moment. And then moving on to the finishing products, we're using Garage Therapy 2 Sigma, and I am applying this exactly as it says on the label. I've primed my cloth there with 2 to 3 sprays, and then the area that I'm working on, 2 to 3 sprays and spread. I'll then leave it 30 to 60 seconds before buffing off with a fresh plusher microfiber. So when I was actually buffing off, or when I come to buff off here, I actually found that it was a little bit sticky, and that's on me. I didn't leave it long enough to cure before removing, so I felt like I had to put a little bit extra work in. So on the subsequent panels, I gave it a little bit longer. The temperature was a little bit colder than normal, so that's potentially played into the extended time for curing. But as I moved on here, I gave it more like a minute to a minute and a half, and what I found was that it was far easier to remove, just giving it that little bit longer curing time in the colder temperatures. So keeping with the Garage Therapy theme, I'm moving on to the exterior plastics. Now, I might get slated for this, I might not, but what I decided to do was use the Garage Therapy tyre serum on the exterior plastics of the car. They were looking a little bit tatty, a little bit faded, and I just wanted to kind of breathe a new lease of life into them. And the only other product that I have for that is a different brand, and I want to stick with the Garage Therapy theme on this one. So I've given it a bash, and do you know what, I'll see how it lasts, I'll see how it works out. I'm aware that we may sometime in the future see a trim conditioner from Garage Therapy, who knows, but for the meantime I'm going to use the tyre conditioner on the trim and see how it holds up. Following on from that, we're going to use the tyre conditioner as it's meant to be used on a tyre, which are now nice and dry and ready for the conditioner. If you are interested in seeing a video that's purely on the tyre serum, then I'll leave a link in the top right hand corner just now. Make sure you finish watching this video though before you go and check that out. We're just hearing from the sponsors that the sponsors man of the match today is Garage Therapy Zero Decon. So let's quickly go and have a word with the man of the match.
So yeah, I really feel like we absolutely dominated the game today. We were clearly the better side. Let's be honest, the X1 never really had a chance. I would just like to take this moment to thank you for the Man of the Match award. I really put in a strong performance today. I'm really happy with how the game went, how my performance was. And I'd just like to thank Garage Therapy, firstly for making me. I'd also like to thank the David McVeigh YouTube channel for just showing how good I can perform.
So that's everything all finished up. Seems like a very quick one today, 10 minutes of talking you through a wash process with Garage Therapy, but I think there's only one winner in this game, and that's Garage Therapy all day long. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, consider subscribing to the channel, hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next one.